cats. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink, it's Claudia Winkleman. Taking the Nick, it's Nick Helm. And their team captain, Sean Locke. And facing them tonight, Nature Calls, it's Kate Humble. Lucky Charmer, it's David O'Doherty. And their team captain, John Richardson. Now, welcome your host, Jimmy
Welcome to 8 out of 10 Cats, a show about opinion polls, surveys and statistics. Did you know, for example, each day the UK produces enough rubbish to fill the Albert Hall 12 times over? Some of the rubbish that's managed to fill the Albert Hall in the past includes Simply Red, The Lighthouse Family and James Blunt. Instead of exercising, 7% of women wear body-shaping underwear like Spanx. So instead of having a body shaped like a pear, they have a body shaped like two pears in a sock. And 20% of Brits who viewed a house in the last year felt the same thrill as when meeting a new lover. I know what they mean. The last time I went house hunting, I came away with a semi. Right, let's get started. What are you talking about? That's the name of our first round. It's our panelist's job to guess the British public's top 3 most popular talking points. Sean's team, what do you think the nation have been talking about this week?
The Olympic torch has landed on these shores, and we are watching it
go round
the country
interminably.
It started in Cornwall. That's because they flew Ryanair, and that's actually that's their London airport. London, Cornwall, we're landing in, and then it's going around the country with various people carrying it aloft.
Yeah, little Will.I.am.
Yeah.
Carried it. He's only miniature, half a Corbett.
Is he?
Yeah, half a Corbett.
Half a Corbett. Is that how we measure celebrity now?
Yes, and it's very heavy for him, but he's been carrying it.
Can we just call him William? His name is William. Just because he can't punctuate doesn't mean I don't call myself J-on.
Who's Will.I.am? Is he in the Olympics?
No.
He's brilliant, and he's on The Voice. He sits on the chair, his feet don't touch the floor.
Why is he holding the torch?
The reason he's doing it, the reason Will.I.am's carrying it, is because he's Corgi registered. As a gas fitter. Drogba's. I didn't know this, but he's a fully qualified gas engineer. He worked for EDF for a while. It's very special fire, though, isn't it? It's the Olympic. It's the Olympic fire, and it's apparently it's very cathartic for people who come out to see it, because anyone who sees the flame go past instantly forgets they didn't get tickets.
There have been some fantastic protests. Did you read about that guy in Taunton who threatened to set fire to his camper van? I'm not quite sure what he was protesting against.
I've got a camper van. Every time you make a cup of tea, technically you're threatening to set fire to it.
Nick, are you excited about this? Are you excited about the flame?
No.
What about the Olympics more generally? Are you...
It's nice. So, like, on buses and stuff, they're, like, saying, oh, let's pretend like the rest of the world is like our mum, and if you had a flat, you'd tidy up your flat and make it look nice for when your mum came over, and London's your flat, so let's all tidy it up, because people might come round and see what a shithole it is. And it's just like, we live here, and they shouldn't be making us do all of the work. Like, oh, if you pick up your own litter, you do it. You do it, right? Just because there's someone coming over from Germany, right, or another country, right, doesn't mean that we should be on our special best behaviour. You should be on your special best behaviour all the time. Don't patronise us.
Sorry, Nick.
My mum doesn't visit, it's fine.
I like the fact that Sean's got Nick on his team and John's got David. It looks like we're filling a quota of homeless men.
Oh, let's just check the Channel 4 lady ratings when this show goes out. Having me and Helm on the same show, it's like, don't cross the streams. Ah! This is the sexiest thing that's ever been on TV.
Oh, David O'Doherty does not own a mirror. He has also never spoken to a lady.
I'm incredible at ladies. I'd just like to make that clear.
You're incredible at ladies.
If you say so, yes, I am.
Well, good, we've got this covered. Let's have a look and see whether the Olympics is up there. Yes, the Olympic torch has arrived in Britain. will.i.am carried the torch through Taunton on Monday. will.i.am's actually got relatives in the West Country. Well, I never and will I fuck. Johnston, what else are we going to be talking about this week?
Well, it's got to be the Chelseas, hasn't it? The old Chelseas. There was a rumour for a while that there was a bigger prick than John Terry. And then, thank God, it turns out John Terry's still the biggest piece of shit that's ever lived. He didn't play in the final. He wasn't involved at all. He watched the whole thing, and then he got a strip on, including socks and boots, to lift the trophy. He's such a piece of shit. I imagine he had a Bayern Munich kit under the Chelsea one in case they won.
Can I just be thick? Well, more thick than usual. What was he supposed to do? Was he supposed to wear, like, a puffer jacket and stand at the back? I don't know anything. Or a suit?
Let the players that won the game have a moment with the trophy and then pop down in a suit and say, whilst I'm part of the team, I am also a human turd.
I hear you. I didn't know.
Sean, you're a Chelsea supporter. You were at the game?
Yes, I did. I went, yeah.
Did you enjoy the match?
Fantastic, yeah. I really enjoyed it. It was great. And people say, oh, I must be up there with the birth of your kids or something like that. I go, no. You ever been to a German football stadium? They got beer. You can smoke. It's miles better than that. It's fantastic.
Did you see the picture of David Cameron watching it with Merkel and...
Yes!
Oh, so David Cameron watched it at the G8 summit with Obama and Merkel. I've got the picture. What you've got to understand about that is they were having discussions about Syria, where people are dying and bombs are going off and it's awful, and they broke off the discussions to watch the penalties.
No one has ever celebrated a goal like that. In the history of football, no one has ever just gone...
I think he's actually doing that because Obama got his name right.
I guarantee that is the only room he's ever been in where people go to him to ask questions about football. Can you just tell me? Oh, no, I tell you, Peter Cech is the goalsman, and he wears the hat because he's the captain, and they played Manchester City in the semi-final, which is what Manchester United are called when they play out of Manchester, and that's football, and it's goals o'clock.
David, Chelsea.
Wow, what's not to love about that raggle-taggle bunch of West London scamps put together by the local butcher and trained police academy-like to get all the way to the final of whatever it was? They were put together by the third richest man in the world, spending the resources of the people of Russia for the last 10 years to buy all the best players.
What's the song with the celery?
It's just a song that we sing.
Go on, sing it.
How does it go?
It goes, we'll ask old Brown to tea and all his family. And if you don't come, we'll tickle a bum with a lump of celery. Celery! Celery! If you don't come, we'll tickle a bum with a lump of celery.
Just out of interest, I've had a lot of issues with women not coming, and does that work? Does it have any effect?
This is a pre-war. This is a pre-war use of the word come, which means to visit.
In answer to your question, not even a little bit.
Well, let's see if Chelsea's win is up there. OK, fingers on buzzers. One thing still to get.
The Facebook man who floated Facebook on the stock exchange for, I think it was 6 gajillion bazillions.
It's the most depressingly modern... It's just a story you couldn't explain to your granddad. A website, which doesn't really exist, has been sold for shares on the internet by... It just makes me think, people don't make their own bread anymore.
Well, but then the weirdest thing... It gets sold for gazillions of pounds.
Gajillions.
6 gazillion?
Sorry, gajillions of pounds.
Yeah.
And so the price of the shares then plummeted, and the people who had invested in it are now suing Facebook, is that right?
Yeah. If you buy stuff in a recession that doesn't exist, you can't touch shares, so why are you putting money into... It's like love. It doesn't exist. It's not like a sandwich, is it? It's just a concept that will eventually lead to the demise of the world.
Have you got a Facebook? Have you got a Facebook?
I've never been on Facebook.
You've never...
Badger Space? You got Badger Space?
Space I have, yeah. Yeah.
I'm, speaking from experience, I'm an internet entrepreneur myself, so...
Tell me more, David.
Did you ever hear of Google? Originally, it was a smaller operation. Originally, it was just me, and you faxed me the question. And you back a couple of days later, and you'd be like, God, that's quick. Then I had to do so much research, I developed an eye condition, and that's where we get the term googly eyes from.
I do the same. I do actually all my stuff, but my website, comparethefudge.com. You know, you go on holiday and you want to buy some fudge for an elderly relative, and you think, is this the right fudge? You go on comparethefudge.com. You go, that's a reasonable price for that fudge. Yeah. Get you other fudges. We were going to call it Fudge Book, but we thought. And Fudge Space was already quite a few websites which were.
Nicky, are you on Facebook?
I've applied for an account, so I'm just waiting. Just waiting to see what all the fuss is about, so...
Fingers crossed.
It's exciting times.
Oh, he got married, didn't he?
Yes.
Zuckerberg got married.
You got married, Claudia. Did you watch this?
Yeah, of course, and I was looking forward to seeing The Ring. You know, like, before they ask you to marry them, you lie. You know, you pretend all kinds of stuff.
So you tell lies before you get married?
Well, I did.
What lies did you tell?
I said that I like Bob Dylan. I said I like dogging. I said I didn't want kids. Boom. Never play that shit music. I'm not going to the A40, and I'm pregnant. So she's done all this lying, you know, because they live very modestly. He's the richest man in the world. She's like, no, baby, I don't want anything. And he asks her, and he's given her a chip. Like, he's given her... If I pulled it out of a cracker, I'd go and fight with the people. And, like, at what point does she go, that old me? Kidding. Go to Graf, get me something that would make Liz Taylor wake up. Go get me something.
I can tell you that Facebook's flotation is not in the top 3. OK, fingers up, buzzers. One more thing to get.
Well, Theresa May's going to get rid of the ASBOs, because she says they're not working, so we're going to have CRIMBOs, they're called.
CRIMBO stands for?
Criminal Behaviour Orders. They were going to call them Socially Unacceptable Behaviour Orders, but then that's SUBO. But because all the papers have done now is it's an excuse to get out all the stories, because the ASBO did some good stuff. I mean, bad people were punished as a result, but there were some silly ones. And my favourite was a woman who got an ASBO for screaming too loud during sex. Which is embarrassing for her, but for her husband, what a story that is. I ain't joking, fellas. I banged her so hard she got arrested.
Do you have ASBO? You don't have ASBOs in Ireland, do you?
No.
You're asking Kate Humble if she had an asthma. You've been pestering animals again.
Yeah. And apparently I'm now going to get a crimbo as well, because you can get a crimbo for having an untidy garden. Really? I'm not quite sure who's going to judge whether your garden is untidy or not.
I don't think it means brambles. It's things like sofas and fridges.
I would imagine your garden would be very well kept. How did that? There was nothing rude in that.
You're so
What's the matter with me that I can't even say that?
Say something simple like that.
So is yours... Is your garden overgrown, Kate?
I would say it's just pleasingly wild.
Let's move on. ASBOs. Let's see if it's one of our top 3 talking points. So, those were the most talked about stories this week. But in other news, Roy Hodgson has picked his squad to win the Euros. It's Spain. And at the end of all that, John's team are in the lead. So our next round is Pick of the Polls. Sean's team, pick a question. What do you like the look of?
The bride. Can we have her?
OK, so here's your related question. Most people found their wedding day more stressful than enjoyable. True or false? Claudia, what do you think? Is it more stressful than enjoyable?
Getting married is obviously hideous. Of course it's stressful. I don't know. I had a glass of wine and had to have a nap at my own wedding. I can't drink wine, I fall fast asleep.
Really?
Yeah, I had to sleep on my dad's lap. Looked weird.
What do you think, Nick?
I've just been the best man at a wedding, and that was horrible. If I was that stressed, then it must have been stressful for them.
So did you do a best man speech?
I did a best man speech, yes.
How did that go?
I accidentally said fuck 4 times.
David, do you like weddings?
Yeah, I haven't been to very many, but they have all been reasonable quality weddings. And
Well, if they're watching, they'll be thrilled with that review.
and I'd like to. It's a nice idea, saying you're brilliant, and now I'm hanging up the horn, and I don't ever want to do anyone else. So,
Well, I mean, you've written your own vows.
It's stressful just going to a wedding. Everyone I've been invited to, because I'm single, you get sat on the table with all the frigging single people. I will put the couples together and we'll have a table full of twats and we'll all watch them.
They're not single people, John, they're children.
Why do people think that a wedding has to be something that financially cripples them for the rest of their lives?
Because it's such a big thing, though. As a pressure of a man, if I looked at a woman and said, I really want to marry you, but let's really keep them costs down.
Can I just say for the record, John, that I do think at some stage you will say that to a girl. Are you married, Kate?
I am married, yes.
You are married.
I give you a quick Google
Would you?
before.
Oh, you did?
I did. I Googled you before. And I read that you enjoy being nude and keeping bees.
Yeah. Have you not heard of nude beekeeping?
It strikes me as a health
It's
and
an
safety
Olympic
nightmare, to
sport.
be honest.
What was the first bit of that? The keeping bees, I understand.
Yeah.
So what was the first bit?
Being nude.
Is that your...
Well, it's not something...
Because you're a naturalist, not a naturist. Or
Yes, no, that's true. But sometimes there's just times when life feels good and it's nice just to dance around with no clothes on.
but there'd be no point of wearing the hat if that was the only thing you were wearing.
Don't finish.
I want to see the circuitry. I want to see that bit at the back where you switch him on.
You actually turn me on around the front.
Wait, when... I'm now fascinated. When are you naked?
Just every now and then.
In the house or outdoors?
Outdoors.
In the garden? Or in
No.
the park? Where?
Just in places.
Well, can you give us a diary or something?
OK, so answers. Most people found their wedding day more stressful than enjoyable. True or false? What are you saying, John?
True.
What would you say, Sean?
I think it's true, but I think people will say false.
You think false? I can tell you the answer is false. Only 33% of people found their wedding day more stressful than enjoyable. It's really stressful getting married. You've got the flowers, the venue, the dress, the food and the disco to sort out. And then you've got to find a girl who's willing to say those magic words. Mr. Jimmy, I need a passport. And the winner is the name of our final round. Here is your question. Top animal people wish could speak.
Well, I think they would say their own pet. I think most people would prefer to have a conversation with their cat than they would with their husband.
Are there problems at home?
I would like an otter to speak. I don't want it to be an obvious animal. I don't want it to be like a goldfish, even though I'm a goldfish whisperer.
Sorry, you're a goldfish whisperer.
I have had a goldfish for literally 11 years.
OK, I'm going to say now, and I don't want you to be unhappy with me, but I'm going to say your husband has been replacing that fish on a regular basis.
Now I say it,
her tail has grown quite a lot. Sometimes she looks quite different.
Are you just finding out now that this goldfish...
Don't. And also, yeah, I don't want to believe it. It's like when the dog actually, I believe it is living on a farm.
Your dog went to live on a farm?
I don't want to talk about
Wait
it.
until you hear about your grandparents. Nick, if any animal could talk, what animal would you most like to...
There's a really skinny cat outside our house that comes over every day, and I just want to know what it wants.
If that dog that won that talent contest a few weeks ago, if that could talk, that would be just... Can I please go back to licking my balls for 6 hours a day?
I think the point about if animals could talk is it'd be incredibly boring, because animals are stupid. Just be basically going, I'm hungry, I'm hungry, I'm hungry, I'm hungry, I'm hungry, I'm hungry. There's a bit of food. I'm horny, I'm horny, I'm horny. I'm going to kill that, I'm going to kill that. I'm hungry again, I'm hungry again. But birds are just... I mean, the most interesting thing a bird might say is your nest is shit.
Not the robin redbreast.
Yeah, you say
Actually,
right.
the robin is
redbreast
quite
is a
vicious.
total bastard.
I've always thought I wanted dogs to talk, and then I suddenly realised it'd be really degrading for them. Because what are they going to say? They just have to keep coming in and going, I have shat all over the garden. I'll be honest, I went in the bin last night. Something's disagreed with me. It is carnage out there. I'm trying to move away from it. It's all up the wall. Oh, God, I can't clean. These are paws. I can't. I'm really sorry. You have got a job on your hands.
I can tell you, John, that is the right answer. Yes, the top animal people wish could speak is a dog. Scientists spent years in laboratories trying to teach a dog to speak, but it only ever managed to say 4 words. Please stop electrocuting me. Well, that sound tells me it's the end of the round and the end of the show, which means the final scores are Sean, Nick and Claudia have 2 points. John, Kate and David have 3 points. They're tonight's winners. Thanks to all our panellists, our wonderful studio audience, and to all of you for watching at home. If you want more, tune into 8 out of 10 Cats Uncut on Monday night. That's it from us. Good night.